Welcome back, everybody, to the Boomer Backfield. This week we are going over the Texas postgame. There's a lot of comments that need to be said. We're going to go into the just the breakdown of the game and what we saw and what clearly needs to be improved. Yeah. That being said,
this is probably going to be a very negative podcast. Personally, I mean, we're pretty much going to beat the dead horse over and over and over again, but it's really starting to piss me off. So I don't really care. So,
Yeah.
well, the question is, why do we have to keep beating the dead horse
That's also
over and over and over again?
Exactly, that's true.
We shouldn't be having to do this every single week.
It's very true.
8 weeks into the season.
So, to start, I will say it's Monday night. We didn't get around to the postgame for a while. But that being said, we just got a BV interview. And, of course, I'm a sicko, so I was watching.
Yep.
And he did say that Mike will undoubtedly be the guy.
Yep.
But if you're a sicko like me also, you're listening to all the radio and watching Twitter, what rolls in, and people are starting to say that the decision is coming this week. Because if you don't roll out Jackson this week, he's gone. Like, this is the week. I mean, like, if you don't roll him out this week, he's gone. And but if you don't roll out Michael Hawkins this week, he's probably also gone. You can really save either one right now. And I don't know. It's gonna be something. But that being said, I think the reason we're having that conversation is because what we just watched was like literally disgusting. Like, that was. We had in the 2022 infamous Davis Bevel Bowl,
More yards,
where we lost 49-0, and Texas Twitter repeated 49-0 till last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We had 195 total yards.
In Davis Bevel Bowl.
And 0 points. And the only reason that we scored 3 points, I mean, this past weekend we had like 227 total yards. So only about 20 more yards, about 30 more yards. And we got 3 points. And the only reason we got 3 points is because the defense put us in fantastic field position twice. Defense kept giving us opportunities until like the end of the first half. And like the offense literally looked Davis Bevel-esque. Like, it was that bad. It was that bad.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. Unbelievable what we're seeing. Like, unbelievable.
Go ahead, Colin.
I don't even I have words, but, and keep in mind, like, we've been all over the place, so we haven't even like sat down and really even talked about this game.
No, we haven't talked about it at all. I haven't talked about it with you guys one bit.
I mean, Colby and I were at the game. Obviously, we were all at the game, but like, we were sitting together at the game. And I mean, it was more of a situation where if OU loses, most of the time I'm mad. Like, I'm like angry. I don't think I might have gotten angry twice, but it was like a state of like disbelief.
It was such a beatdown that
like, I was like,
yeah.
And it was really when they started getting going with the fumble and the fumble and the fumble, and they score and they score and they score. And it was like, once we hit a few minutes left in the first half, it turned from like pain to like, this is insane. We are that bad. I wanted to go home. I literally at halftime, I was eating Rudy's in the media room, and I was like, I want to be at home. Because I know I have a long travel home, and I'm like, I just want to go home. I wish I could just get on the bus right now and go home.
Bang.
It was that, like, it wasn't even maddening. It was like, just,
yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just speechless. I don't really know.
Yeah, it's like you could.
There's
so
struggling
many to put words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many things that I could like say embarrassing, disgusting, horrible, pitiful, pathetic. There's so many like words to describe that game. It was just all around horrible. Yeah. And it's getting to the point now, and I was going to bring this up later in the pod, but I'll go ahead and start off with it now.
Go ahead.
Which is like, what is the conversation like between Joe Castiglione and BV at this point? And here's what I'll say is, and I believe in BV, and I believe in who he is as a coach, and he's just an amazing human being in general. Like, he's a great person. But Dan Lanning was hired in December of 2021 along with BV. Brian Kelly was hired in December of 2021 along with BV. And look where Oregon and LSU are at right now compared to OU. Now, I know OU's defense has completely changed on the complete, like, it's not even close. BV has done an incredible job there. But in my opinion, the excuses are starting to run out with BV. And my concern is that we are turning into another Lincoln Riley, Oklahoma, except it's the complete opposite, which is we have an amazing defense, but an offense that is absolutely pathetic. And it was the same exact way with Lincoln, which was an amazing offense, top 10 offense, and a pathetic defense. And it just makes you wonder, like, is BV turning into the defensive Lincoln Riley? Like,
it's worse.
The
stats are the stats per ESPN, they do like a whole defensive efficiency, offensive efficiency.
Like 10 points.
Yes. The defense the offense right now is much worse statistically, like a big chunk worse than the defense was in 2017, which was the worst that it got during that period.
Yeah.
I saw a post like that
It's like
later.
41.
Yeah.
It was like 41% efficiency for the defense, and we were like 31.5.
Yeah, on offense.
So that's like a 10%.
Yes, it's like a 10% difference. And the defense isn't. I mean, this is just an eyeball, but I don't think the defense is as good as the offense was in 2017. Our defense is great right now, but it's not Baker, Mark Andrews.
We're the number one offense.
That's almost impossible.
So, that's fair. I'm not asking for that, but like
still.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is it's a great assertion of like BV is the defensive Lincoln Riley, but it's worse. It's literally worse.
Yeah.
It's worse.
Yeah. I just don't get it.
It's really bad.
I don't know. And I hate to say that because like what I believe BV is doing in terms of like culture, in terms of like just who he is as a human being, like his standard of living, how he does it himself, he's perfect in all those ways, but like you've had 3 years to get your guys. I understand the transfer portal, I understand NIL and other guys getting this, but like, I don't know, just the excuses are starting to kind of run out at this point when you're seeing other coaches like Dan Lanning and Brian Kelly succeed in the same amount of time at different schools when they've had the exact same challenges that he's had. Mm-hmm. I just don't really, I mean, he's had almost the exact same challenges as Dan Lanning. Dan Lanning went to Oregon, it was a Pac-12 school, and they converted to the Big Ten the same time that OU converted to the SEC. It's like, Dan Lanning's dealt with the conference change. He's dealt with, I mean, all the same things that BV's had to deal with. Now, granted, he might have a little bit more money in terms of NIL, but it's like, does he have that much more? Like, that much?
I'm going to go ahead and get started on the conversation of, I think BV's just fine. Zach Alley's just fine. The recruiting's been great. The product on the field on their side of the ball has been fantastic. Yeah. It's gotten better every year. The mistake Brent Venables made was hires. He has made terrible hires on the offensive side of the ball. Mm-hmm. And he also completely delegates the offense to another person who he's just picking out of his own staff. He's just raising a random guy out of his own staff, which is just kind of ridiculous. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. My opinion is Joe John Finley and Seth Luttrell should not even still be employed. It makes me mad that I just watched a practice with them coaching because it's like, it's like you could argue, okay, it's 2 losses to really good teams. But my question is, how much more do you need to see other than top 5 worst offense in the country? What else do you need to see?
Yeah.
Like Brent, what else do you need to see? They've cost you 2 games already that were very winnable games. Looking back at Tennessee now, they almost lost to Florida at home. They lost to Arkansas on the road. That was a very winnable game, and that is no longer an impressive loss. Not at all, because we were at home with an amazing environment. That's a very non-impressive loss anymore.
Yeah.
And Texas was a great team, but that's always a winnable game. And so it's like, in the first quarter, it looked winnable, right? So I just think it's like they have lost you 2 games that were winnable. They have made your offense steeply decline each year, really. There was like an uptick, and then there was like this extreme downtick.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it's just crazy. I mean, I don't understand why. I don't know. I mean, maybe they are playing the game of we're trying to have a little bit of continuity throughout the year, salvage this season for what it is under the offense that exists, and then we'll make the new hires. But in my opinion, that is not the way to go, because if you're looking at guys like Taylor Tatum, guys like Michael Hawkins that you need to stay and not enter the portal, you want to give them a reason to believe in this team, and that only happens if you bring in a new guy that starts to show progress through this last half of the season. So I think I don't understand why there's still Seth Luttrell or John Finley. It's insane to me. But
I was looking up just because I wanted to. I mean, like, I know how bad the offense is, but I was just looking up. We don't even have 1,000 passing yards. Like, we literally don't even have 1,000 passing.
Not even.
Jackson Arnold's still the leading passer.
Oh my God.
Like, he still has he's the leading. He has like 520 something passing yards. Michael Hawkins has like 440. So then I look. We have 1,726 yards so far
Total
in 6 games.
In 6 games. So we're on pace. I wrote it down for 3,452 yards,
which is an Ashton Jeanty season.
I would say how many yards does Ashton Jeanty have?
Ashton Jeanty probably already. I mean, he has.
Let me look this up.
Does
he
like
have more
13
yards than we do total offense?
He's got 1,100 or something.
Yeah,
it's close.
He's past 1,000.
Oh yeah, because he was at 1,000 last week. He just rushed for like 213. So he's probably like.
Wait.
He might have more total yards than us.
I don't think he has, because we have 1,700 total.
Oh, we have 1,700?
Oh, well, he has 1,248.
Yeah, he has decent amount.
How many guys on our team do you think have more than 250 yards receiving or rushing?
There's none. There's literally none.
Not one. Ashton Jeanty gets that in a game.
One game.
Ashton Jeanty and others, right? Like, this is not a 250-yard game is rare, but elite players do it fairly often. We used to have guys do that every once in a while.
Baker would throw for 300-400.
Well, I'm saying rushing or receiving.
Oh, in terms of rushing.
But still, like, CD, Marquise Brown, Samaje Perine had 250-yard games at times.
Well, 80 to 100-yard games are not, like, that's an average. I feel like that's an average game, 80 to 100 yards.
Nobody on our team,
elite receiver.
There is not a single receiver or running back, tight end that has 250 yards receiving or 250 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing anything. It's crazy. Here's one reason I also think that it's disgusting that Seth Luttrell still has his fingerprint to the facilities, is that I think he should be locked out of that thing. Name a player that stuck out for how bad they played on the offense. That stuck out compared to the rest of the team. In my opinion, I'm not mad at anybody. Are you mad at, like, really any one specific player? To me, I am more just like the whole team equally just stinks.
Yeah.
And it's like, in my opinion, that has to be coaching. Because if it's not one player or 2 players or 3 players, it's the whole team.
Yeah.
There's no way it's a player problem. And you're talking about 4 3-star guys.
That's what's really weird is we talk so much about how we don't have our starters and our guys. I'm like, there's no way the drop-off is that big between our ones and, like, there's no way it makes that much of a difference where we can't put up 10 points in a game. And clearly it's showing that, and it shouldn't be. And you can't tell me that's recruiting. We've had top 10 classes every year BB's been here. It dumbfounds me that everybody wants to talk about, oh, it's the injuries, it's this, it's that. It's like, I understand our injuries are bad, and they're really bad. We have all our starting receivers out. but there's no way that our backups are that bad. They're not. They can't not be that terrible.
It would be an excuse if we were losing to Texas by 10 points. Like, oh man, like that would have been the gap.
Yeah.
Or if we're losing to Tennessee in a fashion that doesn't feel like a blowout, because it kind of felt bad.
Yeah.
Even though it was a 10-point loss, it felt way worse than a 10-point loss. If it weren't that way, it would be different, but it isn't that way. It is just like, it just feels like, it feels like you can put Deion Burks and Nick Anderson and all those guys back in, and it really wouldn't help.
Yeah.
And
that's, Well, I mean, we saw it. The offense wasn't explosive when they were healthy. Like when Deion was still playing and wasn't hurt, it wasn't an explosive offense.
That's the thing, is
it didn't make a difference.
Yeah.
We saw this team with Jalil and Deion for a little bit.
Yeah.
And Nick
at least
Anderson
a quarter
for a little bit. So it's like,
didn't do anything. Deion's been a great player. He's had a couple good plays. He didn't make. There's been no like difference really without him.
Because you put him on the field, and they're like, "Well, I know who I'm getting. I'm getting D." They're literally locking in on Deion Burks because they know he's the only one.
Yeah,
it's because he's most experienced. I feel like the one problem, and I mean, I'm like I agree, but it's almost like every receiver we have, like there's no backup besides. I mean, I guess like J.J. Hester and like Brendan Thompson, which are like, yeah, whatever. But most of the time, I mean, our starting lineup, we're starting like 3 freshmen out of the 4 that are receivers. So it's like, where are our sophomore, junior receivers that are 3-4 stars? And you're like, wait, those are our starters.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I swear this room was so deep. And then now I'm looking, I'm like, there's just no way it's that bad. But then I look at the play call, and it's, hey, Mike, roll to the right every single time. And if there's not your first read open, just tuck it and run.
Exactly
Dude,
what happened.
He can't do that 30 times. I think what was it? I
bad.
saw a stat, and it was like we ran like 76 plays, and on 50 of them, I think he threw the ball like 30 times, and he had 22 design like just runs. They trusted Michael Hawkins to make a play by himself 50 out of the 72 or 76 times in OU, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I am the biggest Michael Hawkins fan there is. Probably not, but like,
He's not. He can't do that.
he cannot do that. I don't care. Jackson Arnold can't do that 50 times. And I mean, for me, I just think Seth Latrobe's last year at UNT, which I know he might not have been the true OC, but he had 6,465 yards that season. Last year, we put up, let's see, like, it was close to that. Like, we didn't put up very far off from that last year with Jeff Lebby. Let's see, we put up 6,591 yards. So we put up about 100 more yards. So it's like, what was he doing there that he cannot do here? Because you can't tell me there's more talent at UNT. There's no shot.
To me, it's like, just like you said, it seemed like every single play. I mean, it just felt like I was watching Mike roll out, throw the ball away, roll out, throw the ball away, or tuck it and run and get sacked at the line of scrimmage or hit at the line of scrimmage. And to me, the only difference that Mike makes on the offense is his legs, and the only difference between Michael and Jackson is that Jackson's trying to throw it. Jackson's trying to throw it downfield.
Yeah.
Mike's not. And that's literally the only difference. Because if Mike's throwing it downfield, he's throwing the same amount of picks. Because nobody's open. That's what I'm trying to get to, is like, nobody's open.
Yeah.
Jackson Arnold, nobody's open, but he's throwing it anyway. Mike, nobody's open. He's trying to scramble. It's not even working. So it's like,
nobody's open, but I don't think that's every single time. Because I saw, like, the last, whenever we moved down, like, after, like, it had to have been the fourth quarter. We moved down to, like, where Hannah was sitting right there.
Yeah, they were 4 rows up, by the way.
Yeah, 4 rows up.
That was awesome.
Insane. And I saw they literally just put Brendan Thompson on a go route. And he has the guy by 2 steps. The problem is J.J. Hester had the same thing. He doesn't have, because the play design is for him to roll to the right. Why is he running a go route? If Michael Hawkins can throw the ball across his body 50 yards.
On the opposite side of the field.
Literally.
From the right hash to the left corner of the end zone.
that's what I was going to say, is like,
Bomb. Like that's
It's terrible
like,
design.
literally-
Yeah.
exactly.
It's
Just
terrible play
Stay in
design.
the pocket.
You're not
Yeah.
open if your quarterback is rolling out the other way.
No shot.
Like that's not even
No.
you're open, but you're not actually. That's not
Yeah.
even an eligible receiver.
Yeah.
Because once you're rolling right, that whole side of the field, especially a deep ball, is off. I mean, that's not even gonna happen.
If you just roll the quarterback out every single time, that's money for
You're cutting
defense.
off. You're
'Cause
cutting
you
off
literally
half
just
the
like,
field.
Hey, flow to the ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're literally cutting off half the field
Mm.
of options.
Me and Kylan talked about that. We're like,
Mm-hmm.
when you roll out and just playing quarterback, your options are
Yeah,
Right.
limited so much. And all it takes is a guy in the flats, you have man coverage and a safety coming down, and you're throwing the ball out of bounds.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or you're just sliding. Like, there's nothing
Well, it's also,
you can do.
if you roll
nothing.
out, you better send every receiver over there
Yeah.
to try and get open.
That's the thing
That's-
is the
yeah.
receivers would run, but they're not fast enough to get open. And obviously Texas's defense is amazing, but like they are stuck on them like glue.
Yeah.
Like the receivers cannot move.
Nobody's open.
They can't get open at all.
Yeah, so I think
At
it was
all.
strange watching him. I mean, you never saw him step up in the pocket once. Mike just rolled out. It was just like, golly. And then you just throw it away because, I mean, there's obviously not going to be an option with
Yeah.
terrible receivers if you're rolling right. And it's like, you have a wide open go route on the left side of the field. It's like, you can't.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
That's like playing when we used to play like in weightlifting football, where no one knows like what route you're supposed to run.
Yeah.
That's what it's like rolling out to the right. It's just I said if you're looking and you're just rolling and everybody you're just seeing stuff. It's just like there's probably I don't even know 18 guys right here in your face. You don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, let me hit this. Let me throw a dot right here. Yeah, and then the Texas safety is just right there. You don't even see him. You don't even see him.
can't see him.
So
And-
it's impossible.
And let's not forget too, and obviously
Yeah.
you're not forgetting this, but like when you're rolling out, you're getting chased.
Yeah, like
It's not
yeah.
like you're just jogging and like on the run looking down the field. It's like there is a big ass
Anthony Hill Jr.
lineman
is running after
trying
you.
to take your head. So it's like as you're running, you're not only just scanning the field, but you're like trying not to get clobbered because you have to go at a certain speed. It's just like unless you have like a really good play design, rollouts do not work well. They just don't. And if you're going to have a rollout to the right side of the field, every single one of your receivers has to be on a route towards the right side of the field. It boggles my mind that you have just a go route on the left side. It's like you're just taking an opportunity for Michael just completely out of the equation.
Yeah.
And then now that leaves less guys for the safeties to guard, like the right safety to guard. It just like rollouts never work. They
And
never work unless you have all of your receivers, unless you have a good play design.
Yeah.
That's
No,
it.
it's on top of the routes, the pass protection's got to be changed, which I don't think it wasn't really changed
Yeah.
for a rollout. Because if you have a pass protection, or if you're rolling right, your pass protection better be sliding a little bit.
Yeah.
And it wasn't at all. So it was just strange.
No. What you're seeing is the lead line's pushing, and then they're just running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not even having to penetrate. It's
It's strange. It was really, it was just, and I'll go right back to it. Disgusting play calling, disgusting coaching on the offensive side of the ball. It was just like not, it doesn't even belong at OU. It felt like watching high school
I
football.
literally
It
said
wasn't
that-
competitive.
I
Yes.
said that to Colby. I said
Yeah.
I won't name drop him, but our quarterback in high school, we ran that play. You weren't. It was when you left. We ran that play every single time. Was
Yeah.
that North? I think it was versus.
I don't
we
even
just
know.
run to the right, he'd throw it out of bounds. Run to the right, throw it out of bounds. It's just
It felt like watching a high school
I said,
quarterback.
this is insane.
And I'm not. That's not even a hit on Michael Hawkins. It just.
Yeah.
But Michael really looked like a high school quarterback, and that was
And you
part of
can't
how
help
he
it.
played.
Yeah.
But it was also just like the coaching is so bad, and that's why I'm like, why do they have? Why are they still here?
Yeah.
Right,
It
they
doesn't
They should be on
belong here.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Like I
it
genuinely.
doesn't belong here.
And I am not the kind of person to call for heads. Like I really am not. But like this is like not even like
I am.
it's not even like a debate. It just should be either they are holding out to the end of the season, which is a valid strategy, but I don't think it's a good one,
Yeah.
or they should be fired right now. That's the only two options in my opinion.
Here's a crazy stat. OU is not in the top 75 in any offensive category.
Mm-hmm.
Our lowest ranked, so our best percentage, is we are number 78 in the country in completion percentage.
Nice.
So we are not even top 75. We're not in the top 75 teams across the entire FBS
Mm-hmm.
in any offensive
Well,
category.
like overall, we're like 125th out of
Or-
134 for like
Yeah.
just like overall offense. It's unreal. It's unreal. Like
it's yeah.
and
That is like
if you look at the
gotta
teams
go.
that are around us and like offensive rating, you're talking about like
FIU.
Bowling Green.
Yeah.
Like it's
Literally,
unreal. Like
yeah.
why are we don't belong
Yeah.
there? And it's not like our strength of schedule has been good, but like the first 3 wasn't. Like there was plenty of opportunities there. It's strange. It's so weird.
I think it boils down to one thing and one thing only, and it's pride. Because Seth Luttrell I think Seth Luttrell personally has let his pride get in the way. If it's me, you know when you suck. Like, it's really obvious, like, hey, this is not working. And I know you have to. Maybe you, hey, I stay off my phone. I don't get on social media. Somebody has to tell you.
Yeah.
Like, somebody has to let you know. If you can't see it for yourself, somebody has to tell you, hey, buddy, you're god awful. Like, it's not working.
mm,
I would be watching every other team play saying, what is that? How did they run that? We're going to use that. We're going to run it.
Yeah.
Texas ran that little fake. It was when they scored that touchdown to Gunnar Helm or whatever. They
The
run
backside.
like where he's rolling out, and then they just popped a little tight end out, and he just throws it back across his body. If we're going to roll to the right, how about we run that? You got everybody moving, and he just walked in. And if
yeah.
I'm saying, I like that. I don't care if it doesn't fit your scheme. You don't have a scheme.
There is
Your
no
scheme is to
There's
suck.
no scheme.
I'm going to build on that. There is nothing that this offense can look back on and say we can build on that.
You can't.
There's nothing. There's literally
Yeah.
there's nothing to be like to even look forward to.
Yeah.
And that's why I go back to the recruits and like the transfer portal. It's like if you don't give Michael Hawkins and Taylor Tatum something to believe in, something that like they can look on and be like, we can build on this,
Mm-hmm.
why would you be here? I genuinely like Yeah.
Would you stay?
like
I don't know.
Oregon's about to have a job opening. A lot of schools are about to have a job opening.
Dante Moore.
Jackson Arnold, obviously, probably out. Don't rule out. Don't act like, I mean, Michael Hawkins is not locked down.
No,
He does not have to stay here. So, like, yeah, we got to give these guys something to look forward to, and it's not going to happen under Seth Luttrell.
I don't know the process because here's my thing is I agree with. I don't think that. I think there's somebody, Emmett Jones, DeMarco Murray. Somebody has to be better at play
Oh,
calling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because I mean, obviously you fire Seth Luttrell. I don't think you go get
No.
Brandon Marion from UNLV and he can just pull up like tomorrow.
You'd have to have an interim from inside the program.
Yeah. So like, if I'm BV, I'm saying, hey, I'm going office to office.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, hey Seth, hey, y'all go outside real quick, and I'm going to every office. I'm saying, run me your best play call, like game sheet. Remember your 10 best plays that you would run,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd be like, that's not bad. I would give scenarios and everything. I'd be like,
Mhm.
this is a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 14. What would you run?
There's no way anybody, even DeMarco, could be worse at play calling than what's going on.
I'm so serious when I say, if you gave me a scenario, I genuinely believe that I could call a better play.
Yeah.
Like, I think any of us could call better plays, and I'm not even joking. Like, I honestly think I could call better plays. I really do. Like, if I could spam Ask Coach, and it would generate better plays than what he's generating.
It's strange, and I just don't think like this is what I heard this morning. People talking about. If I'm Jackson Arnold, and Seth Luttrell calls me back up, let's say, for whatever reason, that he gets called. Maybe Mike's playing bad. He gets called up. Do you want to go in the game?
No, it's gonna hurt my my outside image.
I would literally say no. If I'm Jackson Arnold, I'm keeping my red shirt. I would not play. If I am Jackson Arnold, no matter what, I would literally refuse to play for this team. Because one, you're going to go out there and throw probably 100 yards. If that. You're going to lose your red shirt. The second he steps on the field, by the way, he loses his red shirt. And nothing's good going to come. Like, literally nothing good will come out of it. I wouldn't want to play for Seth Luttrell. And that's why
Yeah.
I'm like, fire him now. Because I'm like, the portal opens up before the bowl game. Like,
Mhm.
before bowl practices. And if he's not gone by then, it's like, man, that portal's wide open.
I want to build on that. The question is, I think, is everybody knows what needs to be done. Does BV have the balls to do it?
Yes. Yeah.
That's the big thing. Is BV, it's like, and we've said this a couple weeks ago, but now all of this is on you. And you're seeing other coaches who got hired the same time you did, with very similar circumstances, outperforming you, and it's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because of you, it's because of who you've hired. And now it's like, can you look at what you've done and just, do you have the balls to just wash the offense clean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's like what's going to come down to, is that I think BV, everybody knows they're not that stupid. Like, hopefully not. Everybody knows what the issue is. They know it's Seth Luttrell. They know it's Joe John. They know DeMarco hasn't been doing a great job. And can he do it? Will he do it is the question. Like, he's been outscored, and I'm going to say this, 113-33 against Texas over his 3 years as a head coach. 113-33. And granted, Davis Bevel year was 49 points, but that is unreal. That's an unreal stat to me.
Yeah.
I mean, 33 points in 3 years, you're averaging 11 points a game.
Quick aside, and then I'm going to also add up to your point. Maybe the most painful part of the weekend, watching Dylan Gabriel and Tawi Walker
Go ballistic.
Light it up.
And I wanted to say about you said 113-33, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
We have 4 touchdowns in the Red River rivalry in Brent Venables' career here. 4.
I heard one game.
2 of them are Tawi Walker.
Wow.
One of them is Dylan Gabriel rushing. I don't know. It was the first play, offensive play of the game.
That was Nick Anderson.
And the other one is Dylan Gabriel passing.
Yep.
All 4 of our touchdowns
Gone.
are guys that are still playing college football and are not playing it here.
That we allowed.
We allowed to leave. We let them walk. The DG story has been developing. Brent Venables said in an interview that they didn't push him out the door, that it was Dylan Gabriel who decided to leave. It was probably for money. And you let a guy walk out the door for money when you knew that Jackson Arnold wasn't ready. There's no way you didn't know. I mean, with what we saw, there's no way you didn't know he wasn't ready. You should have paid Dylan Gabriel's money, and you should have
a scholarship.
Tawi.
A scholarship.
It makes me livid what I saw last weekend.
Yeah.
Tawi Walker is a literal Big Ten star. He is a Big Ten star. And we are dealing with Gavin Sawchuk and Javonte Barnes getting literally a yard of carry. That blows my mind. So, yeah, to go back to your point of, anyways, BV, that's a great point. Like, the only thing stopping him right now, I really think, is like his forgiveness, like kind of his leniency here. And I'm like, BV, stop being. You can't be lenient in this situation, because we are literally. Our season is like, we're projected in the Las Vegas Bowl. Like, it's time. It's time to figure it out. There's nothing to lose here too.
We're projected to go 2-4 over our next 6 games.
Yeah.
Which would put us at 6-6.
Here's where I'm gonna try not to spaz.
Okay.
No, spaz.
Okay. I'm not. I'll
That's
try
the
not to.
whole point.
I know it is the point, but I'm trying to be professional. At what point, if I'm BV, listen, I'm not BV. I probably won't be a coach, but sometimes you gotta practice what you preach. You teach all these kids, hey, this is how you're gonna be a man. This is how you do all this so and so. You got to own up to your actions. You got to be responsible. Every time I hear Danny Stutzman interview, it's always, hey, defense, I didn't do this. I didn't do that. BV, man, I promise you, no one's going to cook you. If you fire Seth Luttrell, we will rejoice. We will actually rejoice.
I'm sorry. I don't
go ahead,
want to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Who in the OU program or anybody outside of the program would think that's a bad decision?
I don't Seth Luttrell.
That's what I'm saying.
That's it.
That,
I mean,
literally,
him.
if BV fired Seth Luttrell today, who would disavow him for doing that?
No, why would you do that?
Nobody.
So for me, I feel like BV. Well, now's the time to show these rascals. Like, hey, I'm telling y'all to do all this.
No.
I'm gonna do all this, but on a much larger scale. It's not an interview. It's somebody's livelihood. I mean, it's not a quotation mark. It's actually his livelihood, but still, it's the same. Football, yeah, it's a sport, but it's the same as any other occupation job. If you're a doctor and if you're a surgeon and you're just killing people, killing people, killing people, killing people,
No, you got a
killing
point.
people.
You got a point.
What's happening? Bye.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.
See,
Probably
you
the
might
first
get-
time.
If it's something crazy, like they're having open heart surgery and you have a hammer and just bang and just knock them out and they're just done. Like something that's not even close to what you're supposed to be doing, which is what Seth Luttrell is doing.
Yeah.
He's doing something that's not even close to what the product should be.
Yes.
You're cooked. You're literally cooked.
That's exactly what we talked about, I think, a couple weeks ago. Is I don't even know if I was listening to the podcast. So telling Spencer this, but football is a business, right? BV is the CEO, and what's happening is that the marketing department is absolutely crushing it. They're bringing in leads. They're bringing in people to come make money for the team, and the sales team is absolutely crashing. They cannot close. And what you're seeing is a failing company.
Yep.
You're seeing a failing company. And there's some areas of the company that are absolutely amazing and they match on the Forbes list. And there's other sides that look like they shouldn't even be a part of the business. And that is what's happening. And that's exactly to your point of OU football, which is it's a business, right? And everything is now starting to come to BV. And you're failing miserably. And it's not because you yourself are failing. It's your department that you have over here is ruining everything for literally everybody else. And that comes back on you for firing those people that are causing that problem and having new hires come in, new looks, just new faces to hopefully change something.
Yeah.
That's literally just, it's going to ruin his career. That's the thing is this is one of those moments where this is a legacy decision for BV that I think where it's if you don't fire Seth and Joe John, that is a fireable offense. If I'm Joe Castiglione and in 3 years Seth Luttrell and Joe John are still employed at OU and OU is 6-6 every year, that is means for termination.
Yeah.
He's got to do something, and it has to be soon. Just like you said, I don't agree with. I can understand leaving him for the whole season to keep continuity.
Mm-hmm.
This is the time where you just got to do something, and you got to do it.
Yeah.
There's no hesitation, and you can figure it out.
Yeah. To build on the BV stuff, since we're escalating it up to BV off of Luttrell, I'm gonna go back to your pride and talk about he made this hire.
Yeah,
and I think part of him is I want to stick this decision through that I made, and hope that it wasn't a bad one. It was a bad decision, BV. It was a really, really bad decision. You hired someone from inside the program that really was not even that good where they were before. It was just a bad decision. It was to me, the word lazy comes to mind.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, why did you not try to find somebody better when you didn't? Because he's so defensive-minded, I don't even think he knew what was going on that side of the ball with Luttrell and Levy. I literally think Levy probably was leaving, and BV probably said, do you have a recommendation inside the program? And Levy probably said, Luttrell's great. Joe John Finley's great. They're great guys. You can trust them.
I would have said that too if I was going to another in-conference
Well, yeah.
And one of them to suck.
I don't think he was trying to throw us off or anything, but it's that's just not a way to do a hire. You need to have somebody that really understands offense inside the program, go outside the program, and scout.
Yeah.
And so, that I think pride is probably part of it. I was thinking about this with Brent Venables. We beat Auburn in a miraculous way. Sooner Magic.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't have happened. If it happened 100 more times, it would have happened it would have happened the way it went only a few more times, right?
Yeah.
OU Texas 2023, the Brent Venables legacy game.
Miracle.
Miraculous Sooner Magic. If it happened 100 times, it probably wouldn't happen very many times. What if those games didn't happen? So I was thinking about that. What if we lost those games? First off, last year would have been looked back much worse. It would have been looked at as we would have been 9-3 and eventually 9-4. We would have lost to OSU, Kansas, and Texas. And we would also, at this very moment, we would be 0-3 versus Texas in the Brent Venables era. If we lost to Auburn a couple of weeks ago, we would be 3-3 and 0-3 in conference. 3-3 and 0-3 in conference. We are this close. Like this close. Because that OU Texas game was miraculous and that Auburn game was more than miraculous. Yeah. We are this close to looking at BV as terrible. Like straight up terrible. 3-3 and 9-4 last year in a very, very, very easy schedule last year. 9-4 is terrible. Mm-hmm. That's fascinating to me. I mean, like
you're not wrong, and I'll say it because I don't think a lot of people are, is like BV has done nothing at OU. Nothing in his 3 years here. Not a single conference championship, not a good bowl game.
Not a bowl win.
I would say, have we even won a bowl?
No, we haven't.
Florida State.
So 0-3 in bowl games? Florida State.
0-2.
Or, I'm sorry. So
Florida State and Arizona.
So the two,
to be fair,
which
we have gotten matched up with freaking monsters in the bowl games for no reason.
Which is fair.
Especially the Florida State was like,
crazy.
why did we get lined up with Florida State? It was terrible.
But if you look at his overall record of what he's been here at OU, not good.
And if you add
not good at all.
If he hadn't
and
miraculously pulled out these games that we're hanging his career on these two games. Like, look at what these 2 wins he's got.
Yeah.
If he didn't have those.
He's not a good coach.
It's not good.
It's not. And that's what's so crazy is when you look at it like that, and I didn't even think about that, the stats show he is a terrible head coach. Mm-hmm. But in the elite defensive mind, a terrible head coach with those stats.
Sad to see.
Which is really sad.
It's
exactly. Because it's like BV is one of those guys that you root so hard for them to succeed, and you give a lot of lenience, I feel like, when they don't, because you believe in them. Mm-hmm. But at what point do we look at the dumpster fire that's happening right now with the program and has been over the last 3 years and say, like, okay, this isn't what we do at Oklahoma, and like BV, if you don't figure out what's going on, like we have to find somebody else, and that's what's like. It's just disappointing. You want him to succeed so bad, but I mean, at what point does that happen?
Yeah.
I mean, a 34-3 loss to Texas. Granted, we have our starters out, but like 3 points,
so bad.
And you have a top 10 recruiting class for the last 3 years, and all you can manage is 3 points. That is on you. Yes, it's on Seth Luttrell and Joe John. They're calling the plays, but the reason they're in that position in the first place is because of you. Yeah. And now it's on his head. Like, really, why is Seth Luttrell and Joe John not fired yet? Mm-hmm. What is the reason? Obviously we can think, it's probably continuity. Like, he wants to maintain, not disrupt the season, but like, what is the actual reason? Like, we can speculate all we want about like why. There has to be a black swan here that we don't know about. That could be pride, it could be continuity, but any other, like, and just like if you look at it from a business though, it makes absolutely no sense for them to still be employed here.
I know.
It makes no sense.
Mm-hmm. And I think for me, and I'm not even just I think it's human nature. Mm-hmm. If I do something and I can get away with it, let's say it's bad, but there's no heat on me. Mm-hmm. It's whatever. I'm cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But as soon as I even hear, like, hey, this might affect you. See ya. Like, whatever I did, that is, like, if I'm him, I'm thinking, wait, BV, I know you're a smart guy. I hear you talk. I hear you, all the stuff you're teaching, all your philosophies. I know you're not stupid. Yeah. So now, like, if I'm him, I'm saying, wait a minute. I did this, and if I don't fix this, it's not only they're going to be gone, I'm going to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
And when it could be pride, continuity, but as soon as it has to deal with me, my money, my family, that's see ya. I don't care about any of that. I'm shipping him out. I'm saying I don't care who it is.
No.
I don't think there could be someone on the staff, offensive minded, that can be worse. Like actually worse than I think if you let Michael Hawkins pick a play from the call sheet, he would probably
would.
That is what is so weird is like at OU, it is so hard to end up 120 something in offense. Like that is not like you like that is very, very hard to do.
It almost takes effort.
It almost takes effort. It's strange how bad it is. Like it's literally strange.
It's not like we have bums.
That's the thing. Is like, yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, I get our top whatever our top receivers. Okay, great. That worked up until Auburn. That was cool. I was like, all right, I get it. That makes sense. The O-line, that worked until Auburn because, yeah, it's been a rotation.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's been about those same guys for the past 2-3 weeks.
Honestly, they've gotten better every game.
They've gotten better every
They played their
single
best
time.
game versus Texas. It was not great, but it was a game.
I said the O-line, if Michael Hawkins threw 30 passes, if he dropped back 30 times and stayed in the pocket all 30 times, I think he gets sacked maybe once or twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he's getting sacked because they're trying to – you think if you're going against an elite edge rush like they have and he's rolling out to the right, you think you can block that guy for that long that he's not just going to run? Because that's the easiest.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even have to put any type of move, spin, finesse on the tackle if you're the DN. You just run around him.
Yeah.
Because he's going that way anyway. You just run around him.
It's insane.
So if that's what's like I cannot comprehend is that BV, you have to think like it's time. Selfish mode has to start now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, I am going to get canned if I don't make something happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like my family, they're not gonna be on the street. They're not gonna struggle for no food. But like I'm gonna be jobless.
Mm-hmm.
I'll still get my little severance package and my little money, whatever, cool. But I will not have a job. And then what school of his caliber is hiring him? You just were at the University of Oklahoma.
Not as the head coach.
You couldn't make anything happen. I bet somebody's taking you as the DC.
That's what I'm saying.
I guarantee Dion will probably call you and be like, hey, come fix this.
Yeah.
But right now, I think Colorado would cook us.
Well,
I think they might cook us.
Full speed, Kevin Horn and Travis Hunter are back, maybe, yeah.
Like, not even on the – but the thing is, their defense isn't good, but our offense is way worse.
We would not put up a lot of points.
I'm trying to think of, like, if we were in the Big 12, I don't even think we're probably –
That's a fascinating question.
like, if we were still in the Big 12, where are we at?
Where would we be? Because it's a
BYU's –
it's a
Iowa
Iowa State, BTA.
Yeah. That's a
I was
great
gonna say
question.
something ridiculous. So
That is a great question. Let me look at the Big 12 ranking. Let's dive into that.
We are in the not even supposed, the hardest conference, and we suck. But even if you put us in any other conference, we're still going to suck.
We would still suck.
If we go to the Big Ten, we're buns.
That's what I'm saying. We go play.
Let's go to the Big 10 and see what's happening.
How many points are we putting up against Wisconsin? How many points are we putting up against Kansas? Maybe a little bit more.
We can probably beat Kansas.
Hear me out.
Maybe.
How many points are we putting up against BYU, Iowa State, Kansas State?
Maybe less than 20, probably.
And how many are they putting up?
It would be like 20-19 if we won.
Yeah, probably 20 or more. That is what's so concerning.
Look at the Big 10. Oregon, whooping us. Penn State,
whooping us.
Illinois,
whooping us.
Ohio State,
Whooping us.
Nebraska,
whooping us. I mean, keep going down the list.
Iowa is holding us to -2 points.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
They're getting a safety on us.
Yeah.
Wisconsin's whooping us.
Yep.
USC,
they're probably beating us.
You know what USC's doing?
Wow.
That's what USC's doing to us.
Wow.
I think USC would absolutely destroy us if we play them. Here's my take about USC, which is I'm really happy they're 3-3. They are not a 3-3 team. They are a few plays away from 6-0, which is
Said like Lincoln Riley himself.
which is just like what Lincoln Riley said.
We're so
and,
close.
And there is a reason they're 3-3. But I'm telling you, like, if OU played USC, we are getting stomped by them.
They lost to Minnesota. That's my thing.
Lost to
Minnesota.
They should be. They could probably be like 5-1. I think
5.
suppose.
But what I'm
if
saying
things
is,
go
like,
their way. Yeah, they're not.
they would destroy us.
That's fair.
I think they would literally destroy us.
The thing is, our defense, it's literally just like a match of like opposites.
Mm-hmm.
Because our defense could hold them to really low points, but our offense, I don't know. Like, I genuinely cannot think of, because we put up 16 on Houston, so anything is possible. Literally any number for this offense is possible. Like, it's that bad. Las Vegas Bowl versus USC would be fun. That'd be a fun one.
It'd be fun.
Or some people are saying the Liberty Bowl versus Oklahoma State.
That'd be fun.
But anyways, yeah, no, that's a great question though. If we were in other conferences, it's like, even, you know, we talked about how bad the schedule is. It's like, give us a better schedule. I still don't see it being any better.
Give us Vanderbilt.
Diego Pavia. Cooking.
Let's just go ahead and say now, Vanderbilt is better than us.
Oh.
They're ranked higher than us in the AP poll, and they are better than us. They have a much better offense, and their defense is not as good as ours, but it's plenty fine, pretty solid. So, yeah, they're better than us.
Give us Vanderbilt, Kentucky, Florida.
Yeah, give us the Texas
Florida
schedule.
just-
Give us the Texas
Give us
schedule,
the
and we're
Texas
still not going to
schedule.
be good. Yeah,
Like,
it doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. We're that bad. It's that bad. Everything is that bad.
And
It
here's,
sucks.
I want to say, because I mean, I just saw the Danny thing about the players only meeting.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I had that written down. Talk to me about that.
What do you?
Okay.
If I'm Danny, here's how I know, because
I know how that conversation went.
every players
Yeah.
meeting goes the same exact way.
Let me
Hey,
introduce
go
the
ahead.
pod.
Go ahead.
Apparently, Danny Stutzman said in an interview tonight that yesterday, day after the game, he hosted a players-only meeting. No coaches, just players. Go ahead. I don't even.
I've been in a plethora of players meetings only because it happens all the time. And Danny is a captain, but the thing is, I would say, and maybe it's different on this level because this is more serious, but 75%, probably more. I don't know, maybe more. Probably 85%
Let's say remember the Titans.
of the kids that were in that meeting do not care.
They don't even want to be there.
They were like, oh, my. I remember we used to have them in high school, and they'd be like, everybody, come in here, coaches. No coaches. I'm laughing. Like, I want to go home because I don't care what you have to say. And
And
I
the
don't
guys
know-
talking to
yeah.
are normally the guys that
Danny,
shouldn't be talking.
he's
Except
different
for Danny.
because, like, that players meeting was probably like Danny, Billy.
Yeah.
You got all these. Got Kit
Yeah.
probably got upset something. Why are y'all? What are y'all going to? Y'all don't need to talk. Y'all are fine. But who on offense would get up there and make a difference? And I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm inspired. Bauer Sharp. If Bauer, I'd be like, sit down. Mike doesn't even talk. He literally doesn't even talk. Who's
is
getting
mute.
up?
The
Javante?
The only thing I can see good coming out of the players only meeting is the defense, like Danny and Billy, literally like looking at Mike and the O line and the receivers and be like, "What are you guys doing?"
Yeah.
Like literally, we're
What's
over
our coach
here.
doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what I'm
fair
saying.
enough. But still, like that's the only thing I can see coming out of this is like, hey, we're holding up our end of the stick, man. Like,
Yeah.
watch what we're doing. Like, don't even listen to Seth. Like, watch what we're doing and just copy our attitude and our mentalities.
Yeah.
Which
Players
would- I don't
meetings,
know.
dude.
But still, it's like, yeah.
I've never been to a single player meeting that actually had an impact
Yeah.
on
It never does.
the team or the performance of the season.
Yeah.
Not a single one. And I've been a part of several. Never happened. And just like Kylan said, people don't care. Like, they don't. And it's just embarrassing. It's not remember the Titans.
No.
Like, nobody wants to be there. It doesn't work. And granted, like, it might be a little different. You can't tell me it's different. I played Division I sports. We had player only meetings. It was the same thing as in high school. It was the exact same thing. So,
I mean, it'd be like, I take it, the last player meeting that I had, which, I mean, it had to be, was IM's last year. After we lost to whoever where we were hot for like 3 days. I remember after or something, like, I don't know what you said. You were saying, like, come on, we got to do something. And I literally just walked to the car. Because I didn't, like, no disrespect. I didn't care what he had to say. Yeah. We just lost. I could care less.
Yeah.
I couldn't care less.
You also, certain guys respond to it well. A lot of guys,
They don't.
Their mindset, I'm going to be honest, half this team is starting to check out. That's half the battle for this South Carolina game, is getting guys checked back in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just going to be a problem. I mean, like, you're 4-2 and you're a laughing stock. I mean, Billy Bowman turned into a laughing stock this last weekend.
Because said they didn't earn it. I'm like, Billy, what does that even mean?
And he also
said that?
Yeah, he literally said, I don't think they earned it.
He also came into he got off the bus and, like, the camera was on him. He's like, Texas ain't ready. I'm like, why would you say that, bro? Like, this team's about to get cooked. Everybody knew to go into this game, we're going to get cooked. Do not go in there and say stuff like that, because you're just going to get...
That's why our score predictions were so outrageous.
Outrageous.
Yeah. Because it's like, that's the only way that we win against Texas.
Is by a miracle.
If I had to bet,
is by Sooner
it
Magic.
would not have been on my score prediction, that's for sure.
No.
I think, by the way, from now on, I'm done with the whole...
OU
the whole OU bias thing.
Bro's just saying it.
It hasn't worked. So I'm done with it.
Against us. I'm saying, hey, we're losing every time.
What's really strange is we're 4-2. We have the same record as Ole Miss, right? Our playoff hopes are still completely alive. We could win out the rest of the year and go to the playoff easily. If we went out the rest of the year, we would go to the playoff.
True.
The only thing is, though, and this is exactly like you said, that is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Because what you have is you have a team of guys who know their 4-2 really feels like a 1-5, really a 0-6, maybe a 1-5 versus Temple. Temple was a good game, not complete, but a good game. So even though we're 4-2, everything is technically still in front of us. It's not. It's not at all. And I think we might go in Saturday and get beat by South Carolina. I think they are a good football team. They've been playing really well. They lost 2 to Alabama on the road. They almost beat LSU at home. They did lose to Ole Miss pretty good fashion, but they're not a bad team. And if you got, like you said, half the guys checked out, clearly have no offensive scheme or continuity or whatever, we're going to get beat by South Carolina on Saturday. That's going to happen.
Alabama got held to 29. Alabama's offense
Crazy.
might be the best in the country. It's a shame that they have a bad defense.
Unreal.
They have an insane offense. Got held to 29 at home. That same defense that went to Alabama and did that, which is a very impressive outing.
Yeah.
Is coming here to stop Michael Hawkins. I genuinely, my score prediction, I'm going to go ahead and say my OU score prediction. It's 6. It's 6. That's how much I think we're scoring this weekend. It's 6. And I don't think that's crazy.
No.
It's not crazy at all. We're scoring 6 freaking points.
I think I might be, like, insane. Like, I actually think I might be insane. Because I don't know what, but I think I have too much faith in humanity. Yeah. Because I keep thinking, hey, this next Seth's got to understand this week. He's got to know that he's going to do something different. Yeah, and I did funny. It. I literally did it at Auburn. I said, we got to come out something better. I said, but this week, Texas, he knows it's Texas. He's got it. And now it's like, all right, this is the game we just lost. We got to get back on track. He's got it. And I'm still thinking that way, but I know it's going to be the same thing over and I'm just.
It's so bad.
And it's not. I can't get it through my head. And I don't even know. Like, what do we need to do? Do we need to start like a GoFundMe to like buy out his contract Like, Seth, if you leave, or somebody put a hit out or something, bro. Like, dude,
That's crazy.
dude, I don't know. FBI, please don't come get me. No, it's not on me. I'm sorry. I should have said that.
He's got kids, man.
But like, what do we have to do to get him to leave?
I don't know.
Like, what scare tactic?
BV
How
has
do we
got to
get BV
sack up.
Sack
That's
up.
the thing.
Bro's busy running stairs after the game.
Facts.
You know what kind of just came to me as we've been talking about this?
Mm-hmm.
I think BV might have too much job security.
So
Listen, any other
yeah.
coach under these circumstances, immediate fire. You know why? Because they know it's going to come back down on them. BV, and just like we said, has shown nothing for OU football other than changing the defense completely. But in terms of record, winning games,
It's worse.
terrible. And in terms of, like you said, the drastic difference, like 10% difference in terms of like worse offense or
Yeah.
worse defense. Any other coach under any other circumstance is on the hot seat right now.
Mm-hmm.
Any other coach.
Yeah.
I think he has just, and I think that might be a reason why he's not making these decisions is because he knows he could go in and go 6-6 this year. Oh, we're in the SEC. He could go 7-5 next year.
Mhm.
Oh, it's a change. He just got signed to a six-year contract.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. That's. Yeah.
where and what I'm trying to get to is that in order to make big decisions like that, ground-breaking decisions, you need to have a lot of leverage. You need to have a lot of pressure, a lot of leverage to make that change for something new to happen. Where's his leverage? Yeah, maybe the media and people outside saying you need to fire Seth Luttrell and all this stuff, but like internally, he knows he's going to have a job. So, and he's friends with Seth Luttrell. I mean, he literally hired him in-house. I don't know. I think that he has a little, and now that we're talking about this, I think he just has a little too much job security. And that's causing him to not make these decisions that need to be made under any other circumstances that a normal head coach would be under.
I can agree with one thing that the contract extension was a little early. I don't think that we saw nearly enough to be. I mean, you didn't even get a bowl win before you put that man 6 years into 2030.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, that's a bit much. But I don't think money or having a job is even on the top 35 of Brent Venables' motivations in life. So that I could see it because there is always the thought in the back of your mind like I could get fired, and that's a motivator. And for him, it's probably not. But I mean, like, once you're at that level where you have millions, you're set for life. You're way more worried about your legacy. Like, what if you get to the point where money is set, you have you're gonna be fine. You're more worried about your legacy, and right now that's going down the tank for him.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying though, do you think that if BV didn't sign his extension, if OU didn't offer his extension, do you think he would have fired Seth Luttrell already by now or not?
no, I don't think that makes.
I just don't think
I don't think that's a factor. This isn't like NBA players where it's like, or NFL players where it's like, oh, I got my 200 milli, like I can like chill now. I don't have to go ball out every weekend.
Yeah,
It's, I mean, like
No.
he's been.
that's interesting. I just disagree. I don't know.
unless he's
Maybe that's just something we all disagree on, but like, I genuinely think that does have an influence on any other coach under any other circumstances other than this. They're having to make these decisions immediately. Any other coach is in the hot seat right now. BV's not. He is cleared for another 6 more years.
Well, that doesn't mean he can get fired.
It doesn't mean he can't get fired, sure, but
I just think like if you look at Brent Venables, he's set for life, and he will have a job no matter what in football as a DC or a head coach at a smaller school, no matter what, because I mean he's already proved himself for what he can do. So in my opinion, if you're at that level, your mindset becomes way more of your legacy, and that all comes down to wins. Legacy is built by wins. So I think he's way more worried about getting wins.
Yeah.
Which
if that's the case, why is he not firing Seth?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I also think like if you call yourself as much of a competitor, unless he's the best actor I've ever seen in my entire life, like, and he's just like fooling us all into thinking that he's the best. He loves to win, but he actually does not care, which would be insane. Give him an Oscar. But I just feel like that should play so much of a part. Like, I feel like it shouldn't be contract. I get the extension. Like, there's probably like a weight lifted off his shoulder. Now he knows, like, okay, all right. And everyone loves, like, you rarely see on social media, like, BV hate. Like, we haven't even gotten to the point on social media where you might see a few tweets here and there or whatever posts where it's like, all right, BV, now it's coming on you. But, like, it's still mainly Seth Luttrell, Joe John, which is understandable because I still think it is. That's, like, what is. I don't think we should fire anything but still, or fire BV. But still, like, dude, if you want to win so bad, there's 2 people stopping you. You can do it. And I don't know how it all works, but if I'm Joe, can Joe C not?
He can.
If I'm Joe C, I'm saying, see ya. And I'm saying, BV's going to be like, hey, no, shut up. They're gone. I don't figure something out. Hire somebody. I don't care.
Yeah. I think it comes down to probably pride because he made the hire literally 10 months ago.
Cool.
Is when he made the.
Sometimes you mess up.
I think it's pride, and I also think it's constant. He probably in his head thinks like it's best to finish out the season this way.
I would honestly rather us not have them and lose the rest of the games every single year because then I would know there is a solid reason why it's because we just have like some random.
Well, I'd also respect BV more.
I would if he
like that's the thing. I like if we fired Seth and Joe John and went 2-4 the last 6 games,
I'd be like, okay.
I'd at least accept that because you know what? It's like, yeah, we sucked the rest of the year. We kind of already thought that the rest of the year was going to suck anyways. But you at least had the balls to make a decision that needed to be made. And now it's like, okay, it might suck for the rest of this year, but it will get better. It will get significantly better in the future moving forward. And so I would have a lot more respect if we fired Seth and Joe John, go 2-4, than if we don't fire them and go 3-3. And then fire them at the end of the season when all of our guys have hit the portal and left.
And I feel like the job search, like if we fired them tomorrow morning, Brendan Marion at UNLV, his eyes are like, oh, because I know they're going to give him a call. They're going to give, and you got however many months. And I know they're going to be worried about their own teams, but I promise you, Brendan Marion has never, he will never, at UNLV, he'll never see the type of money that he'll get if he comes here. Yeah. He won't see it. I'm just like, so if I'm him, I'm saying, all right, I'm going to keep proving that my UNLV offense, my go-go offense, whatever, is elite. And then, hey, fellas, I'm going to catch y'all later. I'm going to know you.
Also, tampering these aren't athletes.
Yeah.
These are coaches.
Coaches.
You can call them in the middle of a dang game and say, hey, we want you. Here's the amount of money that we'll give you. This isn't NIL. This isn't athletes.
Yeah.
These are coaches.
Yeah,
this is business.
It's like if somebody called you at your job.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm telling you, too, like, the OC job at Oklahoma is one of the most premier jobs in college football. Like, it really is.
And it's not hard
We would get
now.
the best of the best. And I think Brendan Marion, personally, is that guy.
And that is why it's so weird that we just elevated Seth Luttrell. It's so strange because it's like Jeff Lebby leaves. We got Jeff Lebby, and he was supposed to be the best offensive mind in football. He didn't live up to that standard here. He obviously was pretty decent because he did what he did, and the drop-off was insane when he left.
He's way better.
But my point being is, when we hired Jeff Lebby, we thought we were getting the best guy. Yeah. Nobody thought that when we got Seth Luttrell.
I was just like, I don't even know if I like had a reaction. I was just kind of like, okay, like I trusted.
Who he was.
I trusted BV.
Yeah.
Because I think I remember I looked up like UNT's like offense, and I was like, oh, they weren't even that bad. But then again, I mean, they're playing with like Conference USA, so I'm like, okay,
it's just strange because it just like, just like you said,
okay.
It's the premier, job in college football.
We're just giving peace offerings,
and
we need him.
It's just it's the premier job in college football, and you can't
non-head coach job. Yeah.
It didn't seem like they even looked outside the program, which is just that's a huge mistake. Brent That's a huge mistake. Got to own up to it. You got to own up to it. And I think that's the problem.
And what makes it worse, and I just thought about this, is that not only is our offense bad, but there's 2 people running that offense, and they both agree to run the silliest plays of all time. There's 2 people with 2 different brains, and that's the best they could do. The best they could ever do is what we're doing. 2 people. Like, they get to talk to each other and say, it's like 2 little minions. Like, and that's what they're doing in the office. Like, this is good. And it's just like a bunch of squiggles.
And there's also 10 analysts in there as well. And
them wrestlers suck too. What are they doing? What are they analyzing?
Probably 12 minds in there. Like, making plays, making the game plan.
Clear house. Clear the whole damn house.
It is a clear
Start
house.
from scratch. Like,
it's literally at a point where it's like, keep Bill Bedenbaugh. Keep him at Jones.
They'll probably keep DeMarco, I'm not going to lie, because he's a good recruiter.
Well, we also just paid him.
That's true.
Unfortunately.
Our running backs haven't been that bad to the point where it's just like, we got to get rid of them. But like, if we kept those 3 and everybody else, special teams, what's special teams guy's name? I forgot.
Doug Deacon.
Let him call plays. Because he got the best group on us in the whole entire room. And the whole entire team. He is
incredible.
Yeah.
He is more BV than BV. Like, he is literally like so high intensity all the time. I love Doug Deacon. And the product it comes out in the field.
Luke Elzinga, boot.
Yeah.
Bombs every time.
Yeah. Doug Deacon's a great guy.
I brought out a prop, and this is what we need.
A prop?
This
Are you saying? Are you going to say it?
This is a shiesty. This is a shiesty. And I want you.
Can you please say it?
So,
Can you please say what you told me?
but there's a term going around, and it's the term YNs.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about how, Brian Kelly and all these, and Dan Lanning, and how they were hired at the same time. And I said, both these teams have something in common. They have a whole lot of YNs.
Uh-huh.
And I said, what does the University of Oklahoma recruit? Nothing but Kylans. Black guys that are from the suburbs. They don't got that dog in them. Uh-huh. I watched Kylan Lacaze shoot up everybody in the stadium after they won an OT. He was airing everyone out. And he's a dog.
Can I see the ski mask?
Take the shiesty. Pass the shiesty around. It's like a show and tell. That's the only thing that's going to save the team. Mm-hmm. If we're not going to fire them, somebody has to pull up in the shiesty and say, hey, I am from Zone 6, Section 8. I have to get my family out the hood. I'm just going to eat regardless. Yeah. Like, I don't care what set. Literally, it could be, Major Melson could rise and wear the shiesty, and I'd be like, hey, let's ride. Major, get out there. Let's ride. But I just think it is so ridiculous that other teams are cooking, and these guys are going nuts on offense. Going nuts. I mean, you got Quinn Ewers hitting the little dance, that little fat kid on TikTok.
That was tough.
That's so tough. Why is he? What are our guys doing? We can't even score to hit a touchdown dance. Yep. And if we do, we just throw the ball back because we're down. Yep. So I need to see, because I only see shiesties on the defense side of the ball. I see RSJ wears a shiesty every once in a while, a couple other guys. But everyone else is just rocking bareheaded, no shiesty, no grit. I want to see someone crash out this week. And I guess that's for Wednesday's podcast, but yeah, I'm seeing a lot of crash outs everywhere else. I need somebody to crash out for OU because obviously it's not Seth. Seth, if you put on a shiesty, I'll forgive you.
Nah.
Because I know that if you put that shiesty on, there's going to be something crazy.
That is true. If he pulled up in a shiesty.
Like I'd be like, because that's like so far out of like, he's like country, like, hey, I'm about to put this dip in, blah, blah, blah. If you put up in a shiesty and like the Rook chain, I know it's about to be crazy.
It's going to get wild.
Like, I don't.
Get weird.
I don't know. I know this was like stupid, but I actually want to see like somebody be a dog. Like everyone on the offense side of the ball is so like
They're timid. They're
they're so scared to like, oh, I don't want to mess up on my freshman. Zion Ragins, I don't care, you're 160 pounds soaking wet. I want you to see you go try and just light somebody up.
Yeah.
Just why not?
Or when you get hit, get up in somebody's face, start talking trash.
I'm trying to see
Yeah.
people get trucked. Javante, Gavin, Sawchuk, lock in. Lock in, please. I'm begging. Tawi Walker, I miss you so much.
Mm-hmm.
That actually genuinely made me sad. He even tweeted that picture of him at last year's Red River game in the locker smoking a cigar.
The pain.
With the horns down, whatever. And I said, man.
He still wants to be here.
He wants to be here.
He wants to be here.
It's speaking from one brother to another, he did not want to move to Wisconsin. It gets cold. We do not like the cold. Like, there's no way he wanted to go to Wisconsin. Like, he would, if, golly.
It's bad. That was so bad.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
I got my shiesty on now.
I want to do a quick section
Yeah.
on Texas
Yeah.
because Texas did not play their best game.
To put up 34.
They beat us 34-3, and they could have played way better. Texas versus Oklahoma, who has the most recent head-to-head win? Texas. Conference title, Texas. National title, Texas. Number 1 ranking, Texas. Playoff appearance, Texas. Multiple first-round picks in the same year, Texas. And most recent consensus All-American, Texas. We are in the era of Texas football. I think they'll win the national championship at least in the next few years. And we are in the down era of Oklahoma football. That's just the way it is. That is the way it is.
It's so sad. This is like when my dad always talks about, like, 90s OU football. Just the freaking pooper years.
Or the dog days.
Just brutal. They freaking suck. They're terrible.
The thing is,
it's hard to
is that
watch.
there's just one thing you have to do, and we will not. We won't suck.
Yeah.
It's really simple. Back in the day, I don't know what was going on. We weren't alive, so I guess I could go have a chat with my dad,
I talk to my pops,
and be like, "Hey, Dad, what was going on in the '90s? You were here." I mean, he wasn't. I mean, kind of. But like, there's one thing. It's firing 2 people and hiring. So there's 3 steps.
Dude,
fire.
I gotta find the picture. Go ahead.
Like, literally, I guess there's 2 steps: fire and hire. That's fire and hire. That is the 2 things.
To dumb it down,
In
Yeah.
all of OU Sooner Nation's world's problems will be solved. Because if you hire just anyone with just half a and don't go get two OCs don't work. Get one guy that is proven elite and let him go. And as many times as it takes that you have to do that, do it.
Mm-hmm.
If Brennan Mary comes here and he sucks next year, see ya.
Smell you.
Go get somebody else because eventually it's inevitable. Somebody will stick. We just need to be decent. If we were decent, I wouldn't even complain.
Dude, my thing is with coordinators, it doesn't matter if you're switching every year. With a head coach, if you're hiring Sydney's dad in his 4 years at college at OU, they had 3 head coaches.
Yeah.
That's terrible for a program because
the whole culture shift.
Yeah.
Like
but changing an OC every year until you find the right fit, it hurts the offense. You're going to have a lot of transfers. But, like, it's way better than sticking in what we're stuck in. So
because it doesn't take to build a culture and all the guys that are leaders or whatever, that takes time to do that. BV, his whole philosophy, that obviously is going to take time. But when the OC comes in, he's not shifting the culture. He's just bringing a new playbook.
Yeah.
It don't take
Probably
it takes the
a new playbook.
Literally takes probably I don't know,
it.
maybe a month to like start to understand the playbook, whatever. But you have
a whole spring, a
you
whole
have
summer,
9 months.
You know
you'll be chilling.
And the roster turnover, it's like it'll be a lot of transfers in and out, but it's like not to a point where like the whole identity of the team is lost.
So most guys come for their position coaches, not the OC. Like if we got a new OC, I wouldn't expect like Nick Anderson to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Emmett Jones or something gets fired, then because I know those receivers and Emmett Jones are like this. Like I know those are his dudes. So I know
here's the
if
thing.
he gets fired, we're cooked probably.
If you fired Joe John Finley You lose the tight end room.
Oh
Oh no!
Somebody better
Devon
keep
Mitchell
Devon
didn't show up for freaking practice Thursday. Didn't show up for warm-ups this morning. He's not going anywhere. Devon Mitchell's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
He's not going anywhere. Devon
What is
Mitchell.
bro doing?
Devon Mitchell is at a lower point than when he got in.
That's what he is right there. Got that shiesty on.
What is he doing?
And so, yeah, the tight end room, terrible.
Here, wait,
And
here's
then we might lose a little bit. I think Seth Luttrell and the quarterbacks, they don't even have a relationship.
He's not I hate him.
Yeah.
Michael Hawkins probably hates him.
And you know who really hates Seth Luttrell? It's got to be Jackson Arnold.
Man.
Because
yeah.
as Jackson Arnold, I'm gonna have a little Jackson Arnold defense. And this is not saying that he's better than Michael Hawkins. I think Michael Hawkins is a better quarterback than Jackson Arnold. But if I'm Jackson Arnold, I am livid. And not because partly because I sucked, but because this team, this coordinator did a terrible job at preparing me, threw me in a fire that I never should have been thrown in by having terrible plays that rely heavily on the quarterback doing insane things, giving me a terrible O-line. He just got thrown into the absolute fire. And the second that he failed, a fire that anybody with a brain would have known he would fail in, we gave up on him. And to be fair, we all wanted to give up on him. Yeah. But it's like, dude, Jackson, I'm out of here if I'm Jackson, especially if Seth Luttrell stays, because the way Jackson got, literally played, is just terrible. Yeah. I mean, he got put in such a horrible position.
We're talking, too, about, would Nick Anderson leave if the OC's gone, or if Seth Luttrell left? The question is, would Nick Anderson stay?
Yes.
If he's still here.
Anderson stay if he's still here? Mm-hmm. That's what's really scary. Mm-hmm. That's why, and we talked about this earlier, but it's that's why you got to make a decision now, BB. Because does Michael stay if Seth Luttrell is still here? Does Nick stay? Does Taylor Tatum stay? Does any of our good players in general on offense
Michael Hawkins Sr.?
Stay?
Michael Hawkins' dad?
Oh, he is hey, coach. Come on, coach. You got to get rid of him. My boy got to play.
You're telling me.
He's yapping in BB's ear.
Michael Hawkins Sr., by the way, I think his number one goal in life is to make his son better than him. And that's a very noble. That's cool.
That's every day.
Yeah.
And if I'm him and I'm watching Seth Luttrell my son's getting cooked out there, looking, I'm going to be honest, Michael Hawkins looked lost, like a lost puppy out there. And that's not his fault. It's not Jackson's fault. I mean, part of it is Jackson's fault for what happened in those first 4 games, but it's not completely his fault.
Yeah.
Seth Luttrell is the opposite of the quarterback whisperer. He is the quarterback ruiner. He is the potential ruiner. Yeah. He has sunk. Literally, you have got a five-star plus number one guy in the class, came in and just all his potential got cooked.
Flopped.
Completely flopped. And now you're on quarterback number 2, a 4-star who looked incredible. Flop. He's flopping right now. I mean, by all statistics. It's just terrible.
I mean, by the numbers, Michael's not playing.
Michael's playing
good.
Terrible.
He's playing terrible.
He's playing terrible.
Now, it's like when you watch the game and you see what's there, okay, he's not horrible. But by the numbers, piss poor. Terrible.
If you didn't know how bad the offense was other than him, and you just tuned into a game, your first time, you would look at it and be like, this quarterback's god awful.
Yeah.
Rolling out, trying to you would think he's terrible.
Yeah.
And it's not because he's bad, it's because he's being put in a situation that's god awful. Yeah. And so he's playing terrible.
He's being set up for failure.
Yeah.
That's the thing is we know because we watch the games, we can see the differences between him and Jackson. We can see how good Michael really is. But he's literally being set up for failure.
Yeah. And just because he's playing better than Jackson, that does not mean he's playing good.
Yeah.
He's playing bad.
It's not hard to play better than Jackson, so that's the problem.
Here's something to think about, which is, first off, Seth has to know he doesn't have a job next year, right?
You don't know that because he still got a job.
Surely, please God, tell me BB's going to do that. Mm-hmm. But if I'm Seth Luttrell, I'm thinking, okay, I suck at my job. I need to find a way to show other employers, like, basically what I'm saying is if he knows he's getting fired, I would have the utmost urgency to create some film that looks good so I can get hired for a job at my next spot. Because right now what he's doing is he's sucking at his job, and then he just is continually making it worse. So now it's like if he gets fired from OU, who is hiring him? You know who is? South Lake Carroll High School in
Not
Texas.
even.
No.
If
Not
that,
even.
that's what I'm saying.
That's generous.
And that's what I'm saying is like he is shown so bad, he probably wouldn't even get hired at a high school in Texas. So it's like if I'm South Trail, not only do I need to get an urgency because I suck and the team is suffering, but like for your own job's sake, dude, it's like you have something to show people because you're not going to get hired. You're going to be selling. You're going to be at Dodge, Fowler, Toyota, whatever it is, selling trucks. And I'm not buying from you. I'm not buying from you because you made us suck. You have to go sell trucks in Kansas or something.
Dude,
It's just bad.
it makes me wonder. You're watching Dylan Gabriel ball out at another school right now. Tari Walker's balling out at another school right now. It almost makes me think like we talk about these guys on our offense all the time that are like, oh, like they have a lot of potential and they never actually break out. And it almost makes you wonder, are we just capping these guys' potential like crazy? It makes you wonder something like this. If Gavin Sawchuk was at a better school with a better O-line, better run game, would he be balling out somewhere else? If Jaden Gibson was at a different school, would he be balling out? Because we talk about these guys like, oh, they have tons of potential, and they never actually break out.
Yeah.
Jackson, Michael Hawkins obviously would play better at other schools. I don't think anybody questions that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That just came to my mind when you were talking about Seth Luttrell, and I don't know, because it's like if you look at it, like since Lincoln Riley left, nobody good has come out of this offense. Just Lincoln Riley guys, Mims and Braden Willis, Eric Gray. But yeah, I mean, BV's developed nobody.
I mean, I'm pulling up Dylan Gabriel's game by game last year compared to this year. First Boise State in the first game threw for 243 yards. I would put them on I'll try and go similar opponent. I'd put them on the same level as like when we played SMU last year. That's like a Boise State. You think they're better, worse?
That's fair. It's decently fair. It's close as it's going to get.
He threw for either that or like Arkansas State or like Tulsa.
Yeah, SMU is probably the most fair.
Threw for 176 last year versus SMU. Threw for 243 versus Boise State.
Yeah.
Oregon State. I put them. What do you think? What, like Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Threw for 291 this year versus Oregon State. Threw for 322 last year for Cincinnati.
Really? Gosh, that Cincinnati game we only scored 20 points.
UCLA. Who do we think? I mean, Arkansas State, Tulsa, Cincinnati, Iowa State.
Oh, Iowa State.
Iowa
Fair
State
enough.
last year. He threw for 366 versus Iowa State last year. 278 versus UCLA.
Okay. What about Texas and Ohio State?
Ohio State this year threw for 341.
Golly, that's insane.
Last year versus Texas, he threw for 285.
Yeah, that's not.
So I
nothing
think
crazy.
honestly, I mean, obviously that's not a exact thing. All that to say, I think he might be right because there were certain things what other teams are good at and what we're good at. We're watching the highlights of the game. Last year, we used to cook DG because he couldn't throw a deep ball. And somehow, by the grace of God, his deep balls now are the most beautiful. He looks like Michael Penix.
Yeah.
Every deep ball he's throwing to Evan Stewart is just boom,
that
right
was
here.
Crazy.
Back shoulder, only Evan Stewart can catch it. Only Tez, whatever, can only
Brad
catch
Johnson.
it. Whatever, yeah. Like
That's interesting. I didn't watch the game.
Yeah,
he's
it
throwing
was
dots. And then
like
he gets in
bombs.
open space, and all of a sudden he's shifty. When did he
Yeah.
get shifty?
Mhm.
I mean, put his foot in the ground, pew, pew, and it's a tutty, 30-yard tutty.
Yeah.
Where it's almost like they call plays that fit his skill set.
And it's almost like his skills are developing, whereas here he was the same old quarterback for 2 years.
It's almost like they probably have a QB coach.
Yeah.
Man, who would have thought to put a QB?
Yeah.
You got a running backs coach, you got a receiver coach, and they're like, oh, we got an OC. Seth Latrobe's a fullback. He's a fullback.
That's what's crazy.
Jordan Phillips is a tight end.
We don't have an actual like quarterbacks coach.
Mm-hmm.
He has to coach himself. He's probably like
That's
you,
like-
or like honestly both of
Yeah.
us on YouTube when you're younger, looking up how to throw like Baker Mayfield, looking up mechanics. He's like, how do I do this? Michael
I
Hawkins
did
has
that too.
Michael Hawkins has
I did
no
that.
idea how to play quarterback. He's a freshman.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I just look at the BV era of offense, and it's like, who have we developed? We have gotten a ton of potential rolled. We have had lots of potential rolled through here. I cannot tell you how many times I've been at fall camp and said, like, man, this sophomore dog. And they come out in the season, and they're just like, all right. They are all right. The only guys who got drafted are from Lincoln Riley days
And they're linemen.
and O linemen, which are one of them was from Lincoln Riley days.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just me, but at some point, I would just start trying stuff. Like, I would literally start trying. Like, they put in Xavier Robinson
Mm-hmm.
at the very end of the Texas game, and he literally looked like a grown man. Like, I only had like 2 carries, but he was running through people. And yeah, you can say, oh, it's the Texas backups. He's like the 7th string running back.
Mm-hmm.
It's like him, then it's Andy Bass.
Andy Bass.
Andy
dude.
Bass. And Andy Bass.
Hey, Andy Bass
honestly,
is swole.
he's a dog.
He's
fine.
swole. Andy
He's
Bass
this-
is swole.
His arms are this big.
Yeah.
He's this big.
He's swole.
He's huge.
Yeah.
So why not? I know you don't want to burn the red shirts, but I would just, if I saw somebody put in Brendan Zerberg, I don't just no.
This guy's crazy.
No. But like all these
guy's losing his
receivers, just start trying. Ivan
No, but yeah, I
Carrion,
agree.
why is he not getting? He's 6'6". Why are we not throwing him jump balls? I literally didn't even see him get a ball. When we were on the 5, I was like, just throw him a 50-50 ball. There's 12 seconds left. We're not winning regardless. Why not give bro his first touchdown?
Yeah. It's strange. It's strange.
We're a horrible football team.
We are. That is the end of the story. Is that we suck, and we are probably going to continue to suck for a good amount of time.
I mean, I'm looking at the roster, and the tight end room just looks pitiful.
Yeah.
Josh,
Especially when you think that Devon Mitchell's not even like showing up. So
Cade McIntyre, he ain't playing. Caden Helms, he ain't playing either. We got Hampton Fay.
Yep.
Who is Hampton Fay?
I know Hampton Fay.
I bet he's probably on Pride.
Yeah.
So
He is.
like
Pride.
the O line, I'm scrapping the O line. If we're just gonna give up and keep Seth Latrobe, pretty much, if we keep Seth Latrobe, I consider that us giving up, because that's literally us
No.
giving up.
Wait, no, you're not.
I don't think I'm wrong.
You're not
I
wrong.
don't think I'm. I think
That's
if
not a
we
crazy
keep
take.
rolling him out there, that's literally us conceding the
Yeah.
rest of the season. So by that logic, let's put all of our freshman O line out there that are 4-star, 5-star. Let them get experience. That way, next year we don't run into this problem where we're like,
Yeah.
we got a bunch of transfer. I don't know what to do.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing is, like, we talk about how bad the O-line is. How much better can it get from this year to next year without having a drastic change in our coaching staff? I don't know.
Put Daniel Akinkumi out there and let him Boomer Suna.
Yeah.
Just let him do whatever. I don't care. Like,
Michael Fasusi better be a brother in Scheist because he has to ball out to make this offense any better. Because he's the only guy we have coming in.
brother in Shice.
He's the only guy we have coming in.
Oh my gosh, a brother in Shice. That's crazy.
He better be a brother in Scheist.
Like, that is.
He better. That's the only person that we literally have coming in, dude.
Yeah.
It's that bad.
Like, EPL, I need you right. Like, I need all these guys. Jake Taylor, you're only a sophomore. I need y'all to get right. Because right now, y'all look real wrong. And it's really, really bad. And the defense, I have literally no worries because I know Yeah, you're gonna lose Danny. You're gonna lose Billy. It's just okay. Cool.
Dude,
Samuel
explain this to me.
Gosigo, Kobe
let's see,
McKenzie, they're stepping up
cool.
and balling out.
Explain this to me. How
Peyton
does,
Bowen,
how does
Eli
Michael
Bowen.
take him out to a nice dinner?
Who?
And that's the performance they put up.
they
Michael treated them to steak.
they played their best game of the year. I will get the O line. I'm actually not even mad at.
I'm not mad at anybody, any singular player on this
Yeah.
team. I am mad
That's true.
at the 50-plus-year-old man up in the booth.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then when I hear Bauer Sharp say, "Oh, he didn't talk to us,"
Yeah, that was crazy. Dude.
I
Yeah.
said I would have. If I'm BV and I'm losing it.
yeah,
You didn't have anything to say
crazy.
after what we just did.
Uh-huh.
We put up 3 points. We didn't score after the first quarter.
Yeah, that's
We were
crazy.
putting bets. We would start on our own side, and we would put bets on how
we did.
far we thought we would get.
Oh, there.
And it wasn't even past
No,
the 50.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy. So we had a. I actually remember this. We had a kickoff and it was touchback, and we were on offense. And Kylan was like, "How far do you think we're gonna go?" And I looked at it. And I said, "I don't think we're getting past like the 40. I think it's the 40, right?"
Yeah.
Or did I
think
say
you said
30?
you said like the
No,
30.
I said the 30.
I said the 40.
Yeah. So I
like
said,
the
I
40.
said, I don't think we're getting past the 30. And he's like, I don't think we're getting past the 40. We got sacked. The ball actually ended up being up on our 5-yard line,
That's insane.
and we punted the ball. So we lost.
backwards.
We lost 15 yards. We were both wrong. I should have said, I don't think we're getting past the 10, and we started on the 20. That's what was so crazy. That's how little hope we had. I did not think that we would get 10 yards on that drive, and I was right. We got negative 15, and we punted.
Just crazy, man.
It's
Yeah.
really, really sad that like our last student year, just our whole college, I have been to 2 states and we have sucked for 4-5 years, and it's been like, this is
Dude,
bunt.
That's what sucks so bad.
We've been
and Pod,
bunt.
I'm going to talk about this because this is just a personal experience, and we've talked about this several times. I have been an OU fan my entire life. And all the years I've been alive, except for a few with like Blake Bell, Trevor Knight transition, we have been badass every single year, or at least good. And the second I get to OU, not even the second we get to college, because we were okay 2020 and 2021 with Rattler and Kid. Like, we weren't horrible. The second I step foot on campus, we suck for the next 3 years. It is the most frustrating thing in the world, because it's like, we've been so good growing up all my years of my life. The second I get to campus, that's when we decide to suck. It is so frustrating.
I remember when I got hired at my job, and they said, yeah, if we win a conference championship, a bowl championship, or a national championship, you get a ring. And I thought to myself, the past 7 years, we won 6 straight Big 12 titles, and we won the Alamo Bowl, even in our worst year, and out of all those 7 years. I thought, surely a bowl championship is a guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this, and I'm like, unless we get lined up in the Liberty Bowl with
UMass.
UMass.
We probably would get beat.
the problem is Liberty Bowl's the big. I literally don't even know what bowl. Unless we get the Liberty Bowl or the Music City Bowl with Indiana, which even then I'm scared.
They're 6-0.
Yeah. My point being is, like,
killing us.
unless we get really favorable odds in the bowl game, I don't think I'll get a freaking ring. And it's like, that is so unbelievably frustrating, because it's like, how in the world 7 straight years? There are guys that graduated about the time that I got to the job, fingers covered, bowl ring, champion, Big 12. They have 4 Big 12s, and then like 3
Bowl,
like random bowls,
Like Sugar Bowl, like good
Yes.
bowls.
Yes. And like, they literally can do this and like have rings in their finger, and I will literally leave like this. It's unbelievable unless we get a super favorable. And the problem is, we won't get a favorable matchup in a bowl game because we're OU. They're gonna line us up with another good team because we're OU, and it just sucks, man. Golly. My favorite tweet of the weekend was a picture. UCO is 6-0, by the way. We're balling out. And it was a picture.
How about them Chos, man?
It
Good for
was-
them.
Dude, I'm about to start going to those games.
Yeah, good for them.
It's the best team in Oklahoma right now.
Man.
It was a picture of the guys, and they were celebrating with the cheerleaders. And the cheerleaders happened to be big boned. They were large. And the top comment, I kid you not, the top comment was, do they have eligibility? Bill Bedenbaugh would like to talk to them. I lost my mind when I saw, do they have eligibility? Bill Bedenbaugh would like to talk to them. If I could find it, I would love to pull it up.
That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous.
That's so insane.
Oh my gosh.
It's the worst being an OU fan.
By
It
the way,
really
Dylan
is.
Gabriel has
It's the
1,790 passing yards. That's more yards than our whole entire team has. I just stumbled across that.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's just the worst. It really is. And I talked about this before, but Yankees, being a Yankees and OU fan, it's the absolute worst. The most potential every year. Even with the Baker years, it was we think we're winning the Natty, nothing happens. We lose to Iowa State. We lose a heartbreaker against Georgia. It's being an OU fan just absolutely sucks. And I love the school and the university, and I always will, but this shit is not for the weak.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm sorry for cussing, but it sucks so bad watching a team that it's why can't we beat Georgia or why can't we beat Bama? What is the difference? That's my
Nick
question.
Saban would have fired that coach.
He would have fired the coach, but I'm and obviously Nick Saban's the GOAT, so I don't even want to go there. But Kirby Smart, right? Or even Dan Lanning right now, it's what is the difference? We're not even on the same level, and it's not even close. And I'm how? We're a huge brand, we have a rich history, a great program, and we are ass. We literally suck.
Yeah, we suck.
It's why can Georgia build a dynasty? My question is how did we not build a dynasty with the Baker, Kyler, Jalen years? How? Obviously not a defense, but how do we not figure that out? I don't know.
You brought up multiple times that Dan Lanning is in the same situation as BV. That Ohio State game was the exact copycat of the Tennessee game. They moved to a new conference, and they get the big dog to come to their house of the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what they did? Dan Lanning stepped up and won the game at home.
Yep.
That's the difference. That's the difference right there.
But that's the thing is just why
can they do
why
that?
can't we put it together?
Yeah.
Why is Bob Stoops 2000 with freaking Josh Heupel out of a JUCO in North Dakota the last year that we could put it together? I just don't get it. I think we have a curse. I mean, we had Bradford, Adrian Peterson, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts. These freaking goats can't put it together.
Caleb Williams last week.
Caleb Williams.
Balled out.
Yeah,
4
Caleb Williams.
tutties.
He's incredible.
Yep.
It's I think we have a curse. It's been 25 years. We're damn sure not winning it this year. We're not going to win it next year.
No, we're not winning.
It's
this year.
Is it going to be 2030? Really? Actually, we are not winning. I can promise you. I'm crashing out.
That's shiesty, bro.
We're not winning a natty in the next 3 years. I can absolutely promise you that. We're not even freaking close. It's not even close. Unless God's grace pours all over the palace on the prairie and hires just the next Lincoln Riley, we're not winning jack squat in the next 3 years. It's not, yeah. And I'm at the pace that we're going, I'm with Oregon on the come up, with Ohio State probably having the best roster in college football. Georgia, obviously, is still Georgia. Bama looks beatable, but they're still Bama. And now you're seeing Texas come up, Tennessee come up. It might be 10 years before we even have a chance again.
That's the
which
problem.
Which is what?
All these other programs, for us to win a national championship, we have to beat these other programs that are getting better and better. Georgia's continuing to be great. Texas is back. Tennessee is back. Oregon is back. All these teams are back. And it's like, now we have to find our place in that. Penn State's back.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Alabama's still there.
Alabama's always going to be there forever and always. Ole Miss is back. Missouri's
LSU.
not back. Yeah.
Kinda. Ish.
But yeah, I mean, Clemson is finding a way right now. Miami's back.
Miami's back.
So
Yeah.
it's like, it's
Bro,
only going to get
BYU
worse.
is back.
BYU's back.
Bro,
BYU back before
See,
OU.
we're not even close.
We're not close.
We're not even close, and we won't be for a very long time. And I hate to say that, but I'm just preparing my heart for just the torment that I'm going to experience for the next 10 years. It's the most disappointing thing in the world when you have a historical program with a rich history, with the we're literally rated the -- university in all of college football of all time.
Yeah.
There was a ranking that came out last year. It
By
was
the AP
us
poll?
and then Bama.
Mm-hmm.
We were the #1 university of all of the college football history. And yet we're not going to win another national championship for probably 10 more years, which would put us at 34, 35 straight years of not winning a natty. Like, at that point, we're not at that level anymore. We're just not. And we're not at it right now. We look embarrassing. And 4-2 is so generous for how ass we are. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. I can't stand this football team. I actually, and I'm crashing out right now because I got the shiesty on. I can't stand this program. I just can't. It's so hard to watch. It's so hard to watch a team that sucks so bad, that has so much potential and can't put it together year in and year out. It's been 3 years for BV. I'm tired of seeing it. It's just really frustrating. I don't know what the difference is. Fire Seth Luttrell, but it's like BV. You hired Jeff Levy. That experiment failed. Now you're hiring Seth Luttrell. That experiment failed. It's like, how many OCs do we have to go through for you to figure something out? It's just, I don't get it. It's just so annoying. Who are the OCs at Bama? Or these? It's like, who are these guys at all these other schools that are just doing so well, and we just suck, and we have the same talent. It's not like they have exceptionally different talent than us. We have top 10 classes just like they do. It's like, now you can maybe say the same for like Bama or Georgia. They might have better talent, but like Oregon, you can't tell me Oregon has a significantly better roster than us.
Our talent is not that bad. Like, we're literally sixth like every year or something like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
we're in the top 10 every single year, and we look completely different than any of these other teams that are doing really good. I hate to watch OU football. I hate it because I know that they're going to suck, and it's going to piss me off. It's going to ruin my weekend, and I'm going to talk on this podcast about getting my hopes up and how we have a chance and all this stuff when we don't. We do not have a chance at all. We're not going to win a national championship this year, and it's probably not going to happen for at the very least, 3 or 4 more years.
Yeah.
At the very least.
I agree with that.
I'm going to be freaking probably having
Baby.
Honestly, probably having a baby before we win a national championship. And I don't plan on having a baby for at least another 5 years. So it's just like, damn. It's just...
Pod, we suck.
I got
We suck. Pod.
Sorry for my crash out,
one
Pod.
last,
I'm sorry.
One last semi-crash out. And this is going to get a little iffy. But I just want to pose the question to you. You're a 5-star recruit. Spencer, why would you come here? Why would you come to Oklahoma? Hold on. Why would you come to Oklahoma? Slash out tradition. Slash out anything history. Now, why would you come to Oklahoma?
And let's be real. Who is thinking about tradition in college football nowadays? What recruit is thinking about tradition? If it's close to home and maybe if I'm like a linebacker.
Okay. Colby, why would you come to Oklahoma right now? If you're a quarterback. Or, I guess, yeah, you're a quarterback.
I'm a quarterback.
I'm staying that way.
Okay.
Now,
if I were to take out my bias of growing up being an OU fan, I would not come here. I would go somewhere else. I would go... Where are the best quarterbacks at right now? They're at Oregon.
Anywhere else.
They're at Georgia. They're at Bama.
I'm going to USC personally.
Yeah.
I'm going to the league.
Yeah, I'm not coming here.
If I'm a 5-star quarterback,
that is
Lincoln Riley.
I'm not coming here.
Our talent, yeah, I know it's not that bad, But when we get, it's almost like we are the reverse for talent. Like we'll get, and I'm still on the Peyton Bowen train because I think he's good. I think he's been injury bug, just gets him. But it's like him and Jackson are like the 2 5-stars that I think that come to my head. And then like David Stone, I guess. But like, I'll give him till next year because he's freshman, whatever. But it's like we get the 5-star and they don't 5-star.
We don't develop anybody. Brent Venables has not developed a soul.
Yeah.
Jackson Arnold, 5-star. Peyton Bowen, 5-star. Devon Mitchell, 5-star. PJ Adebayor, who is he? 5-star. David Stone, 5-star plus. He's like the greatest D lineman to ever walk this grace this earth, apparently. Sorry, I just had to blow up right there.
Yeah.
That's 5 stars.
And they don't start.
That don't do anything.
None of them start.
None of them start, and they're all sophomores now.
None of them start.
All our
crazy.
5-stars that we have, they don't start. That's what I'm sitting here thinking. Is
We have
that
not
you're
developed a
saying
soul.
why are we not Georgia? Who do they have? When they go get 5 stars, Evan Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen Evan Stewart because like our freshman year of college, he was like blowing up on TikTok because he would just like dance.
Mm-hmm.
He did all these dances, and then I was like, oh wait, he plays football, and I was like, oh wait, oh he's gross, and then he was like, oh he's a 5-star. Went to A&M, went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Goes to Oregon, he's going crazy. How do we start doing that? Because it's like, okay, great. Here, we're such good recruiters.
Beyond me.
We're recruiters, but I'm looking at
Yeah.
Oregon. I swear, we don't expand past Texas. We need to go to the trenches of Bama, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, and go get these dogs. We have to figure out how to get them to leave that part of the country, come to what they think we ride on horses and live in teepees, and get them to come here. Because Alabama, Georgia, they don't have not a single problem.
And this goes into exactly what you just asked. Why would you come here?
Exactly.
Our facilities, subpar. That's why we're doing renovations to make them better.
Yeah,
we share
2030.
We share our weight room with volleyball, baseball,
Everybody.
softball, everybody.
Basketball. Basketball is the only team
You
that
think
doesn't.
Bama's doing that? You think Georgia's doing that? You think Oregon is doing that? It's like,
I watch facility tours religiously when I eat,
no, it's great.
and they don't.
But that's what I'm saying is like, it really makes you think. If you're a 5-star player, looking at the situation at OU, in what world are you coming here?
We went to Auburn.
In what world?
Did y'all see the football facility at Auburn?
I didn't see it, but I remember you telling us about it.
You were telling us about it.
Crazy.
It looks. It's a fact. It's like the size of a factory. Like it's massive.
That's so crazy.
It's different, completely different than what we have. Yeah.
Like how is Oregon? Oregon. If you're, who's going to? I mean, like Oregon. What are they going to? What are they going to sell? It's the state, but I promise they would sell me like this as soon as they pull out. Hey, we got 12 games. We wear 12 different uniforms.
That's the thing about Oregon that gets them good recruits is their facilities.
Everything.
Because if a lot of athletes are going to schools based off of staying close to home, no top talent comes out of Oregon.
Well,
none of it.
maybe
it
from
comes
California,
out of Southern California,
Yeah.
and it comes out of the South in Florida.
To be fair,
It's
Phil Jackson said that he wants to see an Oregon football national title, or the
Phil
Saturday
Knight.
Phil Knight,
Yeah.
and gave them an open check.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why they have Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
But that's what I'm saying is like we need to look at their strat and be like, all right, how can we mimic that? Because if we're just even talking about getting guys relatively close to home, they're going to Oregon because they have better facilities, doper stuff. They got bigger NIL funds, all that stuff.
I don't think we're getting the wrong guys. I think we're developing them terribly.
Yeah.
Because here's my thing.
Yeah.
We got the right guy with Toby Walker. He didn't play that great here. He played good, but he didn't play great. Goes to Wisconsin, plays great. We have Dylan Gabriel. He played pretty good here. Had some shines of great. Goes to Oregon and is balling out. He's probably gonna. He's in my tied for the number 1 team in the country with Texas. And my thing is, what if PJ doesn't like where he is right now? I think PJ, with his size, goes to Georgia or Bama or somewhere like that, and could be a top first round draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
if Peyton Bowen's stuck with Oregon, you're telling me he's a backup right now and not even playing that well? Nah. Peyton Bowen's balling out of Oregon if he went there. If his facts went through or whatever stupid thing happened.
PM instead of or
Jackson Arnold
put his little timestamp.
Jackson Arnold could have gone to any other school in the country and looked better than anybody looked like here. So in my opinion, it's like, are we getting the wrong guys or are we just using them god awfully?
We just don't know how to, because I'm looking right now. Tawee Walker last year, I don't think he played bad. He didn't play enough. That's the problem.
Fair enough.
He had 102 carries last year total. He's at 81 halfway through the season.
Yeah.
He's literally going to beat it probably within the next 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
And he has 439 yards compared to 513. He's averaging pretty much 5.5 carry. He averaged 5. How do you let a running back that's averaging 5 yards a carry walk? That doesn't make sense to me. 5 a carry, that is ridiculous. Like, that's, if you give him the ball twice, it's a first down.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that means. And we were just like, that's what I think, going back to earlier, whenever it was, pride. Our coaches have too much pride. I get it. There's a point where I know it's deeper than football and it's about being a man. I don't know what makes you more of a man than having a baby. I don't think Tawee's because he talked back to the coach. Tawee Walker has a child. I think he knows manhood. He has to take care of that little girl.
I would talk back to DeMarco.
DeMarco,
if
I would be so heated if I knew in the spring I have a highlight of me on Instagram running over Billy Bowman. Mm-hmm. Boom. Billy Bowman's trucked. And I'm sitting on the bench.
All-American.
For what? Like, why am I sitting on? And you won't give me a scholarship? I saw something that said they gave Gavin Freeman a scholarship, and he's at OSU now. They gave him a scholarship before they gave Tawee. And Gavin Freeman couldn't catch. He had one good play, 2 good plays, where he ran the jet sweep to the crib. The rest of the time, what was he? Buns. Couldn't catch the ball. Couldn't do nothing. He's buns. Tawee Walker, what is he doing? Bowling ball. He's getting crazy. He's averaging 5 a carry last year. And we say,
we let him walk.
Ah, man, go explore your other. And he didn't want to.
And he goes to Wisconsin, and he's balling out. There is nothing more embarrassing if I'm DeMarco Murray than watching him ball out, because that's all on you.
Mm-hmm.
That should be so embarrassing for DeMarco.
8.3 yards a carry.
That's unbelievable.
8. That's almost a first down every single time.
Every time he touches the ball.
That's like close to Ashton Jinsey numbers. Jinsey is, I think, 9.9.
Yeah.
Tawee might be the second best.
Genty's like 11.
Or
it's insane.
Wait, let me look at this.
Genty's like 11 yards a carry.
Genty's crazy.
Wait, is Tawee Walker the second best? This is like a thought. Like,
it probably won't be because he hasn't been on like the same scale. He doesn't get as many carries because Ches Malusi or whatever.
Ashton Jinsey's averaging 9.2.
Jesus Christ.
9.2.
That's ridiculous.
In conference. 9.9 overall the whole season. That's a first down.
First down to carry.
That's unbelievable. That was off topic, but Tawee, I mean,
pretty good.
Well,
yeah,
we're literally 25 seconds away from being at 2 hours.
I just want to apologize for the cussing. I blacked out there.
You guys probably knew this was coming, that we were going to spaz out. Yeah. It's OU Texas, and it's literally pretty much almost like the 5th straight week that we have seen Buns offense.
Mediocre play.
Buns, not mediocre anymore. It's Buns. It's literal Buns.
Just terrible.
There is only one group of people that can be more in shambles than us. And I know that this person exists out there. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. There is somebody out there.
I already know what you're going to say, bro.
Who is an OU Sooners fan.
Yeah.
And like diehard. And a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan.
Mm-hmm.
Because those people, there's a lot of those.
If I was a diehard I'm not a diehard Cowboys fan,
I'm saying
but
like
I am a Cowboys fan.
There are people that like
shambles.
when the Cowboys play.
They did the double whammy.
Yeah.
They went to the Cotton Bowl and they went to that game.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yep.
Somebody
paid money.
Paid probably near $1,000 for 2 tickets, and went on Saturday and watched his Sooners that he loves so much and watched them get whooped. And then the next day woke up and went to the Cowboys game. Probably paid $500 for that too. And watch them get whooped. I am so sorry for you, man. If you are that person, I'm so sorry for you because that I cannot imagine. I can't imagine. I literally can't.
I go to the restaurant yesterday with Judy and her family, and I see it's 47-9
at home.
How do you get beat 40? How do you get beat by 36 in
Yeah.
Jerry's
That's in the
world?
league.
Or what is that? Is
That's
that
in the
no, that's
freaking
38. Is it 38?
Yeah.
38 in the. You're a grown man. A grown man. And you just get. They were running trick plays. They ran the hook and ladder.
Okay.
The
With a
hook
lineman.
and- with Panay Sewell.
With a
The hook and
lineman.
ladder, and he almost scored.
He was.
If there wasn't that penalty, it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Texas was running. They ran that fake double pass, and it worked.
By the way, Texas was literally like playing
They
with
were
us.
They were
literally
toying
They were
with us.
playing with their food.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it sucks. That's the moral of the
suck.
story. We suck. It sucks.
The season's shot.
Everything sucks.
We have everything in front of us. No, we don't.
No, we don't.
We have 6-6 in front of us, and that is
Yeah.
probably what's going to happen.
Most likely.
So
Yeah.
maybe we'll squeeze out a 7-5.
On the
That'd be
good
a
side of
blessing.
things, the media ranked us in 15th in the SEC for basketball, which is second to last place. So
Nice.
there's that.
Hey, the
Sucks to be
Yankees. The
soon.
Yankees won game 1, so we're good.
There's
Hey.
something.
Yay! Yay! Yeah, that's like when my mental health is riding on right now. Is the
If
New
the
York
Yankees would
Yankees.
have got cooked, that's 0 for 3 for me
Yeah.
this weekend. And I got 2 tests. I got a test at 9 a.m. tomorrow about video games. But you know what? Hey, it's fine.
Sucks to be a Sooner right now.
It sucks to be a Sooner.
Pain.
We'll see you guys in, 36 hours when we do our
Literally.
South Carolina
Pre-game,
preview.
which is going to be another one, big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
guys. Thank you.
Peace, pod.